More than a friendly, yesterday was una festa bianconera, a black and white party. Honestly, it was a black and white party because wherever you were watching, you saw a Juventino or una Juventina. We from home, people in the stands, players on the field, it was surrounded by family members, by black and white family members. And that's really beautiful. I enjoy when I see and I feel surrounded by Juventini of the world. We'll speak about a bit, not that much because it was not a serious game, but the friendly of yesterday. What I liked, what I disliked, where we need to increase, where not, where are we? Even if I'm waiting for the game of Sunday against Atletico Madrid to really understand the progresses that we made. We'll speak about Mercato, a really big update. Why? Because I understand, especially after the words of yesterday from some journalists, that Juventus are starting to be worried. We miss quantity, we probably miss quality. Where are the players that we were waiting for since weeks now and that everyone promised us? Koopmeiners, Todibo, offensive wingers. So update about that. Douglas Luiz will be presented today at 2 p.m. Italian time. High chance that I go live. So this video will be short before the live that I will set to translate the words of the player that I'm counting on a lot. And I want to speak about Locatelli, because if yesterday was una festa bianconera, a black and white party, it was for everyone. For every single Juventino except of Manu Locatelli. Guys, what we did yesterday, a part, not all the Juventini. Let's not put everyone in the same bag. A part of Juventini, what they did yesterday was unacceptable. I tell you immediately it was unacceptable. I personally don't accept what I heard, what I read, what I saw. It is unacceptable. Whistling Locatelli on the 6th of August at the 15th minute of a family party, a barbecue that you're organizing with your family members, it's not okay. It is not okay. It is absolutely not okay, and we should never do that. It is like you're whistling publicly while your brother, your sister, your family member is doing something. It didn't even finish. We are already discouraging. We are already whistling. I was used when I was a kid to play PlayStation 1 Destruction Derby. I don't know, maybe you're too young to remember that game. What was the goal of Destruction Derby? At a certain moment, you had a mode in that game where you were with a lot of different cars in an arena. Round circle arena with a lot of cars. And the goal of the game was to destroy the other cars. To go and do the maximum damages to the car. And I can tell you, the people that were playing that game back then, 1995, 1996, they were enjoying that game so much. The satisfaction of destroying something. Well, yesterday it looks like that's what we were doing, a part of us. In the stands, destroying in the arena our player, Manuel Locatelli. Destroying. And more we were destroying, more we were enjoying. In the beginning of a season, in a friendly, it's not okay. We are destroying ourselves, Juventus Football Club. What do you expect with these whistles? What do you expect? That suddenly he will become a phenomenon because you whistle him? You are expecting that suddenly he will be sold? And suddenly Juventus will find 60 million euro out of nowhere to sign new players instead of Locatelli? We have, at the moment, not even the money to sign a Nico Gonzalez, a Koopmeiners, Todibo. And you're expecting that doing so, we will have magically money. You are expecting, and when I'm saying you, of course, it's not everyone, that doing so, the player will suddenly become... No, guys, this is not how it works. I have nothing against whistles. You can whistle at the end of a game, when you didn't enjoy the performance of the team, or even from an individual, because, of course, this is a profession for them. If you, supporter, don't appreciate at a certain moment what you are watching, what you are seeing, criticism is absolutely correct. A real Juventino, criticize as well, but with respect, because we are speaking about our old lady, and you need to treat it with respect. Criticize, yes, but with respect. Manuel Locatelli, a lot of people, they will start doing, but you love Locatelli and you're defending. No. Last season, 23-24, when I made that tier list, Locatelli, if you go back to that video, he's on the bottom of that list. He's in the bad section. I didn't appreciate Locatelli's season, but the first one that didn't appreciate that season, it was Locatelli himself. He knows that if he has not been called up by Spalletti, probably it's Spalletti, but also him. First of all, him. He knows that his seasons at Juve, being a Juventino and wanting the best for the team, but also for himself, and to prove himself that the dreams that he had as a kid, that one day he could wear that shirt, that he can honor it. Not only with blah blah, or without, or in the spogliatoio, in the locker room, but also on the field. And he knows that he's far from the expectation that all of us had 3 seasons ago when we signed him from Sassuolo. He knows. He's in a new team, with a new management, with a new technical coach, with new tactics, with new players next to him. He's playing in a new position where he's adapting. After the Nuremberg test, where we saw the old version of Locatelli, the last 2 games, what we saw, and we didn't saw a lot, but what we saw, we see him playing more offensively. He is trying. What are we doing? We are destroying someone that is trying. Then, is Locatelli a starter of Juventus Football Club 24-25? Probably not. If we sign a Cope Manners, if and when Fagioli will be in top form, probably he will not be the starter, but he will be an important player of that Juventus. He's not on the market. And the people that are not on the market, we need to support them. And if we want to criticize them correctly, we wait. First of all, not in a party in the beginning of August. We wait until the season starts. After a bad performance, not during a performance. And you will tell me, yeah, but the players, they need to build a thicker skin. They are paid millions. No, guys. No. Criticism is harsh, and you have different personality that are able to react differently to it. Some are a bit more stronger, but these are not robots. We are not playing with AI. We are speaking about real human beings. We need to encourage. We need to support. And if we are not able to do it, we ignore. Yesterday, Manuel Locatelli deactivated from Twitter. And you will tell me, good, he needs to focus on the field. Guys, I tell you one thing. What we are doing, we are again in that destruction derby game. When I was a kid, social media didn't exist. Internet didn't exist. And when I was a kid watching Alessandro Del Piero, Ravanelli, Vialli, Torricelli, and these guys, my idols, I was dreaming that one day I could say something to them. And that they would reply me, they would tell me something. Today in 2024, we have so much tools, so much possibility to get in contact with our idols, which was totally impossible 20 years ago. And we are destroying it. We are destroying it because we can't behave, because we believe that we have the right to do everything. And most of the time to be destructive. No, guys, this is not how it works. Enjoy. Cherish the tools that you have and try to make beautiful things with them instead of always destroying. Guys, it's not okay. We saw beautiful things as well. I want to skip going towards positivity. The invasion of the pitch. Yesterday I saw a man, instead of going to the players, he was an older one, probably is not fans of individualities, but Juventus Football Club himself, when he was in that pitch, the first thing that he did was laying on the ground and taking a picture, him on the field, at home, on Juventus, and that was for me the emblem. That's what it should be. We saw also yesterday the hug between Thiago Motta and Paolo Montero. The last time that they met in real life, it was against each other, it was opponents, while today they were friends, they were family, they were brothers, and these are the things that I love to see. What about the game of yesterday? Really fast, what I loved, more fluidity. We start to see automatism, and that's important because now we start to have them here, programmed. Not everything is perfect, not everything is perfectly oiled, but we start to see automatism in some movements, in some passes. I love to see an increased physical condition. I love to see Cabal and his versatility, because he didn't start yesterday, but he entered again as a left back instead of a center back, so he can really play the 2 roles. I love the fact that Thiago is still testing. He wants to see different solutions, like for example, he tested Bremer on the left side of the center back. Then did it work or not? Let's speak about it. Danilo, second goal, because you don't like Danilo, second goal, one on a corner kick against Brest yesterday, the first goal, the opener, where he was there in the box, and he's already scoring 2 goals in 2 games for Danilo. What I didn't like yesterday, we are still shaking in defense, and we are still shaking when we are conceding counterattacks. When we lose the ball, attention, that's a real problem. Yesterday we played against Next Gen. Atletico Madrid will be already another test. You see clearly, that's also what I don't like, that the team is not complete. I already told you. Quality, quantity, the things that you are worried, I'm also worrying. Now I have to say something. A lot of people are saying, well, yesterday only 16 players are part of Juventus. Only 13 field players because 3 out of 16 are goalkeepers. Yes and no. What I anticipated yesterday also during the live, Bangula, Savona, and Rui, they played with the next gen not because they are dropped, not because they failed, but because we wanted to give them a maximum of minutes. I told you I anticipated here as an exclusive news that the game would have been twice 30 minutes instead of twice 45, with not a lot of changes. So the goal was to give them entirety of games, and we did well. Now, about individualities, what I liked, what I disliked really fast, Douglas Luiz. It's another player. It's another level of player. You know what I liked? I said it yesterday. These are kind of players that we are not asking them to adapt to Serie A. We are asking them to come with why we signed them to elevate the level of Serie A. And yesterday we saw Douglas Luiz immediately. I enjoyed Thuram, defensive, dirty work with a touch of class. And that's beautiful. And then that goal. Because if you are not great, if you are not fantastic, if you are not, you can't score a goal like he did yesterday. Already, the idea of testing was beautiful. I like Weah's speed, but even more than the Weah's speed, I love the fact that he became also more productive, that he was working in the last few meters. I love that. Now pay attention, because last season as well in summer tour he was one of the best one, and then he lost himself during the season, so pay attention to that. What not a lot of things more to say about what I like. What I disliked is Dusan Vlahovic, but the preseason of Dusan Vlahovic are always like that. What is important to me is that on the 19th of August, against Como, is ready. That's what I'm waiting for Dusan Vlahovic. But in the last 3 games that we saw him, or the first 3 games that we saw him, I didn't see the Dusan Vlahovic that I'm expecting. Bremer on the left side, I told you, great that we test him, but that's not his position. Also because we know that a lot of time the game is starting from that left center back, and that's at the moment not yet the position of Bremer. Didn't appreciate that much Gatti. I really wanted that he scored yesterday, because a Gatti, we need him in the team. I need a Gatti that is super pumped and understand the importance that he can have as a rotational player. I didn't like also that sometimes we are ignoring Yildiz. Why? Because we are playing a lot of time centrally. We are playing really vertical centrally in the game. And when we need to choose a side, we are going to the right side, where we are ignoring a bit that left side. So a lot of things that we need to work on. Corriere dello Sport is opening with Juve serve altro. More and diverse things are needed, where we see a picture of Douglas Luiz, Kefren Thuram that are enjoying, but also the picture of Galeno. Speaking about transfer market, well, one of the things that we need to stop with are the malediction, how do you say, la maledizione, the bad luck of the number 10 position, because if Koopmanners, we are at the moment not able to bring him home. The substitute naturally on the field was Miretti injured. The other one that we were expecting was Adzic injured, not something serious, but still will miss 10-20 days, where it means that he will miss the beginning of Serie A. It was a big chance for him after Miretti being out to show himself that I can. Do we have alternatives? Well, I will come back on that in a second. Today there will be an important one. Un meeting di Mercato, un summit di Mercato. There will be a meeting of Mercato between the management and Thiago Motta, where they will tell him what we did, where we are at, and what we can do. That's important, not what we want to do, but what we can do. Because if a few months ago, Juventus was speaking about what we want to do, now it will be what we can do, which is totally different but important, aligning with Thiago Motta, which is the most important thing. What will they say? Well, first of all, they will announce that Barbieri has been officially sold to Cremonese, Serie B, that Frabotta has been sold, or given, honestly, to West Bromwich, to UK. A lot of people will say, Beppe, we give him for free, okay, the 20% resale, but oh, guys, he had a salary at Juve that we were obliged to pay, and I can tell you that when you're loaning him out or in Serie B, because he is a Serie B level player, you need to pay 80% of the salary, 90%, because the Serie B team, they have no money to pay the salary of players that we consider not a lot, but are extremely a lot for this team. So actually, the Juventus that are able to free up and not having Frabotta anymore, it's actually not a bad thing, all things considered. Muaremovic, that could potentially go to Genoa. We have Nicolussi, we have Rugani, so they will give him a big update about exit Mercato. They will also tell him that at the moment, except of U-turns and miracles of last minutes, Sancho, Ademi, it's over, it's impossible anymore, but they will give him an update about Galeno, because yesterday there were some beautiful calls between entourage of Galeno, between Porto, Juventus. So yesterday were work. Galeno, like Record Portuguese paper is actually mentioning, Galeno, he knows that he has a contract of 5 years to Juve that is waiting for him. He received other offers as well. He doesn't want, he won't, or at least he put them on hold because his priority is Juventus Football Club. Galeno can be serious, also confirmed yesterday by Andersinho, and you know, the first one that was anticipating that Bremer would extend, and this happened, but he also said, look, there were calls, Galeno loved the project of Juve, another one that wants to marry the project of Juve. Will he come? Well, they are still negotiating, but Galeno could be one. What about Nico Gonzalez? Well, Nico Gonzalez, Gazzetta is writing tutto su Nico, all in for Nico. Is there interest on the player? Yes, there is interest. Yes, he could potentially become one of the two offensive winger. Nico Gonzalez, Galeno could be possibly what we will see at Juventus Football Club this season, 24-25. He said it to Fiorentina, my cycle with the Viola is over. Atalanta is on the player, Juve is on the player, they both want him on the other side. Here, I'm still hesitant. Is it really what Juventus want, or is it a blah blah? Just to avoid that the people know what is the real target of Juve. So let's wait what will happen about Nico Gonzalez. And then the big name, Koopmeiners. Guys, one thing is sure. Yesterday, I know, contradictory information, Di Marzio, etc. A lot of people started to be worried about Koopmeiners. Will he come, will he not come? Apparently, Atalanta, they have absolutely no plans to give him away. Look, the Scamacca injury changed a lot of things, and that's a certainty. The fact that Juventus is still not able to give the money that Atalanta is requesting, it's changing a lot of things. It's quite annoying. But Koopmeiners is still the objective of Juve. Atalanta never said, or at least publicly, yes. But in the transfer market, they didn't say to Juve, it's over. Don't even come to us anymore. The things didn't change at all. Of course, Juventus need to increase their offer. Juventus need to be extremely serious if they want that player. Looks like Atalanta is not intention to let him go, are the words of Di Marzio, not Atalanta doesn't want to let him go. Juventus at the moment, they are not looking for an alternative. And that's a big sign that Juventus is sending. We are still planning to sign Koopmeiners. It could be that because of the injury of Scamacca, we are waiting until after the 14th, the Supercoppa, which I didn't want, but maybe to give a last help, a last support to Atalanta, a last favor before going all in. And maybe we are able to already find an agreement. Look, we are okay, that's the money, you are okay, and we give him until the Supercoppa against Real Madrid, and then he joins the Juventus Football Club. This is what I'm expecting. Todibo, Nice is doing difficult, but I'm also expecting the Juve to go a bit more serious about the player and fast about the player. So, do I'm promising you that everything will go well on this player? No, that's not what I'm doing. Yes, you can be worried a bit, as I am, but things are not over yet for these players. Juventus will try to go for 4 more players, 2 offensive wingers, a center back, and a midfielder that is able to bring you some goals. Who they are, let's see. Grazie for following the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.